to the World Championship Series Challenger here in Europe, as we have already confirmed the fact that 4 so far out of the 5 Team Liquid members are advancing on into Premier, looking very, very good indeed. A little bit of a heartbreaker there for BC Cutie. He'll be back, no doubt, in Season 3. And now we move on to the second series of the day, which will be quite the Titan matchup in terms of ShoWTimE. And then we have, obviously, the challenger in Elazar trying to bring that Titan down here from WCS.
Yeah, as you can see, he's never played in Challenger, never played in Premier, obviously, because he hasn't played in Challenger. But this is the first time he's actually managed to go through the qualifiers to be here today. And ShoWTimE, who was equal with Bunny when it came to the Challenger selection, unfortunately got drawn second to pick. Unfortunately in the 1 out of 2, but was second to pick, and he picked up on the new player in WCS. In the World Championship Series, he says, hello, welcome. Now you want to play me, don't you? No, not really, but you are, because I've chosen you. And ShoWTimE has picked up on the newbie here, and this is going to be very, very difficult for Elazar, because ShoWTimE had such a solid performance in Season 1 and is slowly but surely rising to the top of the European scene and already has his claims to be the best European player. Whether people like it or not, he's slowly getting there.
Yeah, he is. He started from such humble beginnings as well. I mean, we cast him previously winning the formerly EPS, actually becoming the champion there, rising through the national ranks, and now finds himself on the big stages where he is performing extremely well. And it's not as if he's just bringing the same game time in, time out. If we cast our minds back to Season 1, ShoWTimE was showing really diverse builds, especially against Zerg, and that's probably why we saw him pick a Zerg here. I think he feels it's his best matchup at the moment.
ShoWTimE's very good. In my opinion, in all the matchups right now, he's very solid. He's a very complete player. He's super good at being aggressive and harassing while not making any mistakes back at home. But it is up to the youngster now, Elazar, to make the difference. And he's only just recently turned 17. He's very, very young. He's inexperienced in these type of matches, but he's on a big stage. And we've seen throughout the years in the World Championship Series that you can make it happen in the World Championship Series. We've seen upsets from before, but this would have to go down in the books in the World Championship Series history as one of the bigger ones yet to have happened if he's able to do this.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, let's get into it then, as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner. It is our second Team Extreme Supremacy member of the day. It is Elazar. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, we have our previous 3rd to 4th place finisher in WCS Season 1, really showing everyone and having his breakout performance in the previous season. Looking to go far again, it is ShoWTimE for alternate attacks.
Yeah, ShoWTimE just continued to increase in results over the last year or so. You know, that top 4 last season was absolutely fantastic. He really did carry the German flag and represent Germany very well in Season 1, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to do the same here in Season 2. Whereas on the other side of things, Elazar, first time, obviously from Poland, if you didn't know that. Going to see what he can give us today. Funny enough, these two have played already this year, and it is 1 apiece. ShoWTimE won the first time they played earlier on this year, and then Elazar won the more recent one, which wasn't that long ago. It was just at the start of March.
3-1, I believe, right?
Yep.
So
in a qualifier for Fragbite Masters, but a win's a win.
It's a good result. It is a good result against someone like ShoWTimE, who really did bring the power to Season 1. I think he impressed a lot of people and gained a lot of new fans.
All right, so build shaping up. We have just a regular gateway opening. But it looks like a 3-hatch potentially coming out from Elazar, unless he's sending out a drone to have a look around for a cannon or probe or something. Yeah, he's just going to sit around. He saw the probe coming across the map with his overlord. He doesn't want to be cannon rushed.
Yep. And the trailing will begin, as over on the other side, obviously, he has no clue what's going on in regards to the gateway actually going down at the top. But trying to put the fear of God in Elazar here with that pylon in the mineral line, and it has forced some drones down.
Yeah. He's a little bit worried, cannot see what's going on, and there is the cancel. So already playing a bit of a hashtag mind game. Is ShoWTimE on show day?
Why on earth not? You're the reigning Premier player here out of the two, and for the most part, a whole lot more tournament and LAN experience comes out from ShoWTimE on the other side of this battlefield compared to Elazar.
Yes, that's certainly true. That is a fact. Can be entered into the fact list when we go into the next stage of this tournament.
We'll make sure we do that. That's a good fact there.
The way that Protoss versus Zerg has been playing out recently is a lot of Blink Stalkers. That's the best way to describe it. And we've seen Zerg start to struggle with it a little bit as of recently. And I think the way to success for Zerg is to try and break the third base before it's up and running. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult to deal with a high amount of Stalker Sentry. So it'll be interesting to see which way Elazar goes with this, because he's taken quite a bit of a late gas. So his Zergling speed isn't the earliest. And ShoWTimE definitely is a player who's very solid. So I'm expecting him to be going up to the third base, to be up to a high amount of Blink Stalkers with +2 attack, +3, and so on. Stalker coming out to push the Overlord away from ShoWTimE to deny that scouting.
And eventually it will, as there is a little bit of room here for him to do things. With interesting little placement of the buildings, actually. It takes a little while to actually get back and forth into your main base with the way in which these are laid out. They happen to go around the left as opposed to the right-hand side. But regardless of that fact, not sure whether it will come into play. Very rarely does unless some crazy kind of Mutalisk switch comes along.
ShoWTimE with a probe out on the map is going to see if he's about to be broken on 2 bases or not. As without that hatchery being up there, he'd be expecting an attack to come out from Elazar, but now he knows it's there. And he's confident that this is just a regular Zerg versus Protoss game and can continue forward with his plan.
And that's just going to be 2 gateways at the front, not much more than that. The Overlord in the main base obviously had to fly on away. Likewise, this one's going to have to get out of there as well.
Stargate hidden at the back here, though. That's the one difference from ShoWTimE that Elazar doesn't know. He knows about the gateways at the front, but does not know about those. That Stargates are at the back. So with ShoWTimE, he's pretty comfortable. 3 gateways is a decent amount for this stage of the game to be able to build units to defend, to be able to build units to move out to take that third. But the Oracle is or the expected Oracle is going to be the beast.
Yeah, 10 Zerglings on the way here.
Yeah.
Just to control the map, I suppose, and make sure that there's no craziness going on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much did he see? So he did see extra gateway being planted at the front.
He knows it's going to be 3 gateways, but he doesn't know if a movement out's already happening, and that's what these lings are for, to catch any probe, just to feel comfortable that you at least have something out there to slow this down. Yeah.
Surprised he's not keeping full eyes on the very, very front of this, just to make sure he would know if something was going on like that.
Waiting for Zergling speed so he doesn't get caught with force fields or anything.
Oh, that's all right. So for now, we'll move on over. And you'll see probably even the Mothership Core just on patrol. Have a look around and see what's going on up at the top. Very ambitious.
Nice move with the sentry. Moved it back then, planted the force field not to lose that. 1 single spore crawl on the way on the natural. Oh, no, that must be 2 then, so 3rd and natural.
Yep.
And then the layer begins with a lot of drones. He's expecting this to be a 3rd base being taken, sees the sentry count, but we do have an Oracle on the other side of the map, and lucky enough, he does have those spores, so... And a Queen, so he shouldn't take too much damage.
Yeah, if the Oracle actually goes into the main base, technically no spore there. Good start on that spore to save it, actually. Likewise, okay, so this is just going to continue on. If he'd have gone any further, we could have seen spores everywhere that needed to be cancelled.
And ShoWTimE is going to move out to take his 3rd very shortly, I think, yeah. But pretty good economy for Elazar, and he's denying that 3rd just for a couple of seconds. Knows it's about to go up. And we have a lot of Overlords on the way. So with +1 attack, I think he's going to stop, and he's going to go for a Ling Roach Flood as soon as that Roach Swarm finishes, and he's going to try and break down this 3rd. As mentioned, I think this is the key to success right now in this matchup, or at least the Zerg players are leaning towards it, because if he breaks this 3rd, he gets momentum to win the game through his economy over his opponents. But can he break it? There's going to be a lot of force field sentries. The Oracle doesn't know if that's drones or units. This is the only scout right now.
Oh, sees a few roaches popping out.
Sees a few roaches.
But there's 18. There was 18 in production. That is a huge amount of roaches here.
He knows an attack's coming. He's got a void around the way here. And it's going to be about how well does he force field, how well does he split his units, how well does he use the Mothership Core.
Well, we'll find out in just a little bit. As there are... Well, he already broke down these rocks to make sure that this was nicely walled off.
Well, the natural also got to be make sure that he's got sentries over there too.
Yeah,
he's only got one.
If you kind of establish this position here as a Zerg, then what are you supposed to do? I mean, this Void Ray, yes, puts a timer on these units, but there's a lot of units. They can try and break down this wall.
There's not enough sentries either, because that wall will break down and he'll be able to flood in soon.
Oh, he's already in here. That little small gap allowed him in.
You can trap him out and in, kind of in the middle.
Just throw them everywhere. Make sure you can try and keep out the Zerglings from getting on top of these sentries. That being said, though, the Roaches are already going to work on some of the sentries at the back, and he's actually been able to hold off quite well at the front with the Photon Overcharge, as well as Photon Cannon and Void Ray.
That's a really sexy defense there. A second Photon Overcharge available for this third if he needs. He didn't use it. That is a really, really clutch defense, and that's what he needed to do, and that is brilliant. It's a clap of the hand defense, that.
Yeah, very, very well done. And +2 and Blinker on the way behind this. Elazar knows that could be the potential transition, so Infestation Pit had to go down there.
So Elazar's in a bit of trouble here. He's taking his first hit to himself, naturally, because he went for that attack. He could have already been up to 70, 75 drones, which he has recovered to now, but he already could have been there, and he already could have had a attack choice, whether it been the Infestation Pit or Hydralisk Den or Spire, something in the mid-game. But now he's on the back foot trying to get to where he could have been if he didn't do that attack, and this gives a clear opportunity for ShoWTimE to strike in meantime, and he will. He's already out in the middle.
I'm not sure why plus melee weapons has started here. I'm not sure whether it's going to actually really come into effect. I guess he wants to get a wraparound with Zerglings and then try and go for the Fungal itself against a heightened Stalker count.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go Ling, Infesta, Ultralisk eventually, I'd imagine, but right now he's going to have to deal with his fourth base being attacked. He goes for a counter to try and do something while this is going on, but he's going to lose his fourth.
Yeah.
Or is he? He needs to be able to defend it.
These force fields could have gone down a little bit quicker to negate the Zerglings from getting on top of these sentries, and he doesn't really have a warping point here.
He defends it though, I think, so this is very good for Elazar. That's what he had to do at this position. He had to defend that fourth base. If that had gone down, ShoWTimE would have been in an excellent position, and he forces the recall. Good counter defense there from Elazar. Still Void Rays though, which he has to deal with.
Ooh, and 5 Queens in production as well, so getting a lot of creep going out, using that as the anti-air as well.
Yeah. Decent creep spread. He's getting up towards the hive so he can go towards adrenal glands, get the Ultralisk Cavern down, and he's already increasing the Queen count, and he's going to play that style.
Cool stuff so far for Elazar to be able to hold on with how he did just then.
Yeah.
Again, there could have been the potential that ShoWTimE got those force field down a little bit quicker and he took less damage, but...
Yep.
Did he get Burrow?
The thing is, there's no creep on this right-hand side, so
he did.
He's got to be very careful, because as cool as his army is, with good force fields and good Stalker usage, he could outright still lose before he's even close to where he needs to be.
Wow, he noticed that so easily. That was really impressive stuff. So we'll be able to fend those Roaches off.
Creep is trying to be spread on this right-hand side. He knows this is a danger point. He knows he has to defend this fourth hatchery. It is so important for this game. He's got Infestors out, he's got a decent amount of Ling and Roach, but does he have enough to stop the force fields and to be able to get the units in close?
The Oracle flew forwards, sees the entirety of this army, and has got to be a little bit cautious now after seeing that many Infestors there.
There are 2 entrances here, so he can come from this ramp south as well as north, but there are force fields and also a time warp available. And a very tense moment here. If he holds on for the next couple of minutes, he'll get towards 2-2, he'll get towards the Ultras Cavern and so on.
And tries to throw down a few Fungals. The second one actually hits. There goes the Time Warp, as well as a wall of force fields. Going to seal off a lot of the damage actually coming out from those Queens at the back, and sealed a lot of the Roaches and Lings in.
Oh man, that was bad. Probably shouldn't have attacked into that. Off creep, into the force fields, got trapped up, split his army, and now this is a golden opportunity for ShoWTimE to move forward with the rest of his units. He spreads out against the Fungals as he knows, and he's looking for a victory here, and if he takes that fourth, that's where the victory lies.
Adrenal Glands 2-2 is on the way here. A few more Infestors, catches some of those Stalkers at the very front, but not going to be enough just yet. As the small blink forwards here by 3 Stalkers, they grab themselves an Infestor. That is already a worthy try. Didn't even die, those Stalkers, so great little pickup for pretty much nothing.
Yeah. This is... He's got a long way to go still yet, Elazar, before he's comfortable. 2-2 Ultras Cavern on the way, but he's got to keep surviving.
Yeah, and he's continuing to set up this defense. He only has 4 workers at this fourth base anyway, but he's trying to come in from both sides. There was some force fields on the left-hand side to try and stop the army from flooding on forwards, but I'm not sure he has the firepower available against the amount of Stalkers that we're seeing here at the moment. It's 30-some Stalkers, and with Blink and +3 weapons, how are you supposed to shut that down?
Well, the Queens are just going to deplete their energy, and after that, there's not going to be too much left. I suppose we'll see a Ling flood very shortly, or at least something, but Stalkers +3 attack. is going to be enough. He's going to break this fourth base. We see Viper popping out, but he's just got nothing left.
No, not at all. He had about 38 links in production, but that's about it to try and deal with that, and even that is not enough. Maybe with fungal growths, but they don't really have that much energy left on those infestors.
2-2 is done, 4 Ultralisks are on the way, but then we've got this in the meantime to deal with as a Warp Prism's managed to come out into the game, and as mentioned, ShoWTimE loves to be able to harass at the same time as he's aggressive, clearing up creep. He's got a Robotics Bay and a 4th base on the way behind this. And all he's got to do now is chill out, go back home, build Immortals, get the second Robo, add on an army to be able to defeat the Ultralisks, and then he's in good position. But it's not outright over yet for Elazar, even though he's lost that 4th. He's lost a lot of economy, but he's had enough time to get the Ultralisk in the game before he's been eliminated.
And this Ultralisk will turn around and kill off this Stalker pretty quickly, as cheeky little guy tried to do something, but these Zealots actually will force the cancellation. Not much you can do about that, even with that Adrenal Glands upgrade. Oh, good catch.
Yeah, and that's gonna die now with continued fungals. And Immortals are on the way.
Gets dropped on off and doesn't even get himself a Zergling.
Great 3-base economy, but is Elazar going to strike before ShoWTimE's quite ready? It's a little bit of a supply lead for him. The Ultralisks do have decent upgrades.
And he's going to just separate off a few Zealots here and there to try and do some aggression themselves.
Quite a few infestors, quite a few bit of energy.
Yeah, the thing is that
around.
in that engagement that previously happened, he actually saved a lot of his infestors.
Yeah.
So they have been able to bank up energy themselves again, and now he's going to try and swing on forwards to deny his 4th base, which will be successful, but his 4th base is going to be denied over at the other side.
Yeah, ShoWTimE is okay with falling back on 3. He knows he's going to go ahead and cancel the other one on the other side, and as I said, he's just got to make sure his army's okay. He's going to add Archons that are going to be very, very good for the Lings.
Yeah, and will end up cancelling that, loses the drone, but he's going to lose a few more.
3-base versus 3-base, and ShoWTimE very patiently just going to move probably, I would say, to the left-hand side here and take that base instead. I suppose he could take the north one, but he'll go take his 4th base in a second. But the more time that goes past, the better this is going to be for ShoWTimE, unless these Ultralisks and Queens work together and are able to pull off some really good magic, but there's so many Immortals. Now,
yeah, there's going to be even more soon, because he's just going to Chrono Boost into the Robo facilities and make sure they're all out. That being said, he had his Spire on the way. Greater Spire's going down as well, and of course, making these Robo units isn't exactly the best to deal with those, so once the Ultralisks are dealt with, he has to be understanding that another transition can come along.
And that is Greater Spire is on the way. Big move coming out from Elazar next, but in a minute, ShoWTimE's going to say, wait a minute, I'm at 200 supply. I've got a very good army. And then we're going to see him attack.
And the wrap around here once again for Zerg to try and deny this 4th base. But the entire army's there. So not necessarily wanting to go too far. Storm is on the way as well, but
this is hard to do. It looks easy, but it is hard. He needs to attack properly from multiple angles. He needs to land the Fungal Growth and land the Blinding Cloud on top of that army to pin it in position, make sure it cannot attack, and then allow the Ultralisk to move in with the Queens, transfusing the Ultralisk to have perfect synergy between the Zerg army to defeat this. But there are storms. ShoWTimE isn't just going to sit there and allow this fungal to happen either. He's going to be dodging and moving around.
I didn't really anticipate this movement out from the Zerg, but a good block there to deny it, and that's going to be a sacrificed Ultralisk, pretty much.
Yeah, look how fast that just died. I mean, Ultralisks are good, but it's hard to make them work exactly how you want them to.
Don't quite have the armor of Legacy of the Void just yet, that's for sure. But
7 Broodlords are on the way, and this is going to be pretty big, because then you join in Broodlords on top of the Fungals, on top of the Blinding Clouds, and Broodlords just doing damage over time.
He's built a really nice army now. He has built a very good army. There goes a Fungal Growth, catching a bit of this army at the front. Feedbacks, though, will get themselves quite a few of those infestors. Has to recall out, knowing that the Broodlords will be able to tear this up.
Elazar, very impressive. We're having very good performances here from the challengers against the top 2 players from Season 1 in Bunny and ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE blew up quite a few of those infestors and has decided to throw down Stargates to get towards the Fleet Beacon and the Tempest to help deal with these Broodlords. And at this moment, he's got to use a bit of the mobility, because this Zerg army is quite slow now, as he has to protect the Broodlord, so he can move north. Warp Prism hopefully will come out soon as well, so he can start harassing again. It's going to be hard for him to invest in a Dark Shrine. I think that's kind of expensive when he's trying to go towards the Fleet Beacon and Carrier, Tempest, sorry.
And he's no stranger to having to deal with Broodlords, let's put it that way. He's had to deal with them in WCS in the past, in Season 1. And now, let's see how he's going to do it again here. But of course, this Ultralisk army at the bottom of it all is also very powerful. Going to lose the Mothership core by the looks of things.
Yeah, caught out there. But Elazar's going to put some pressure on, but ShoWTimE has 3 Tempests almost out.
They are on the way. Trying to wall this off. The Ultralisks laying siege to this location.
Right, 2 Ultralisks dead there.
Yeah, for just a few gateways, which aren't really making a big deal at the moment. It's all about the Stargates in the terms of that production.
And ShoWTimE's got quite a bit of money too, so you can start to roll in with additional Stalker Warping reinforcements.
Trying to find another angle. Will he try and blink forwards here towards the Broodlords? He tries to get on top of one of them, but good transfuses there, trying to keep that alive. That being said, though, the Ultralisks at the front, how much are they going to be able to take down? The Tempests have entered the fray. One of them is going to pick off a Broodlord very, very quickly. All the Ultralisks are pretty much gone, though, now, and I don't know if he has anything to tank on the floor.
This is it. This is Elazar's very expensive and slow army about to go down the loo here. As the feedbacks onto the Queens made the Ultralisk useless there. They got picked off immediately, and Tempest at the right time come up and pick everything off now. And what is it? 16 Zerglings and 4 Corruptors as the Remax here. 40 supply down, and ShoWTimE makes the hold on his 4th base. A very successful hold there for the German.
And Elazar is trying to kind of grasp at straws now, keeping a few of these Zerglings in the mineral lines to do some harassment, which technically is a very, very good move. But once the detection comes back, once he cleans all of this up, nothing is going to stop him from marching across that map, laying waste to the 4th base, and it's going to be up to Zergling counterattacks to keep him back for a long time.
Yeah, this is a very difficult moment here for the Polish player. 104 supply to 167. His ultimate army didn't work, trying to fight on that 4th base. Maybe the wrong place to fight. Maybe he should have taken a fight somewhere else. Maybe towards this center area. But either way, he's now got to figure out a way back in this, but looking very, very unlikely now as ShoWTimE building right back up to 175 supply. He's got all the tools necessary to defeat anything Zerg can build at this point.
Well, Zerglings certainly kill off probes very, very fast when they're able to get on top of them. And killed off quite a few there already, but as you're right, I mean, how do you deal with this army? It's not going to be easy at all. Army supply 123 against 44, and these drones basically walking to their death in a conveyor belt of slicing up there from the Zealots. And, well, the Corruptors actually find themselves a few Tempests, which is a nice start to a potential comeback, but with the amount that he's got to go through, it is looking less and less likely by the minute.
Yeah. Fun game, and I'm looking forward to see what else can happen in this series. I don't think Elazar's going to be able to show us a magic trick today. I don't think he's got any cards up his sleeves. He's going to try to build up a brutal army one last time, but as you can see, this is a very powerful Protoss army, and no longer is ShoWTimE hiding behind a Nexus, hiding behind his Mothership core. He's out in the open. He's looking for blood. He's looking for map number 1. He's looking to join Bunny in the next stage of the World Championship Series. A couple of fantastic feedbacks, and this is towards the end.
Yeah, Fungal Growth once again, though, didn't have any more feedbacks at the front to actually counteract that Infestor that was able to throw that one down. And the pursue on, because he doesn't really have that much anti-air, is quite amusing here. But there you go, GG. He took out the 4th base, and that is it. So good job by ShoWTimE to be able to hold on and just power out that game.
Yeah, I think that was a really great game overall from both sides. I really liked Elazar's game. I thought he was going to die a lot faster on in that map than he actually did. He did very, very well. And hopefully he can continue to bring same performances in the next couple of matches as well. Putting up a good fight against the top 4 finisher from last season. Yeah,
really good stuff there from him to start it off. But obviously, ShoWTimE is ShoWTimE, just as we predicted, and a lot of people predict Bunny to have gone through in the previous series. A lot of people are backing ShoWTimE here as well. So if Elazar can make the kind of the huge upset that would occur, then great. There is the potential that he could, looking at that game there in game number 1.
Yep.
But ShoWTimE, man, this is, right now in Europe, it seems like this is his matchup. It's very hard to beat him.
If you can be a couple of steps ahead of Protoss and kind of play the way that Elazar did with the Zergling Infestor into Ultralists, into Broodlers, if you're always a step ahead of them and not allowing them to react with the correct army, you can win. You absolutely can win. So if you can do that again, cool. I think that's going to be a great play style to hopefully make work. It's a very solid style, the Zergling Infestor and Roach.
Well, now we go on to Expedition Lost here for map number 2. And it's a map that, you know, some Zergs have had a bit of difficulty with. Likewise, though, Protoss have just kind of stuck to 2 bases and tried to go for it quite a bit. And with the way we've seen ShoWTimE mix up his games in PvZ in the past, there's the potential that he could do whatever he wants here. Something very aggressive could be on the cards.
Yeah, Expedition Lost is decent for Zerg. It's much more difficult for Protoss. The back rocks and the difficulty of taking a third. 2 most important parts of this map. And that will definitely impact ShoWTimE strategies.
Yep. All right, well, we're just waiting for these guys to give us the go-go into game number 2. But so far, in day number 2, we've already had some great games from our Bunny series, and now ShoWTimE and Elazar giving us a good run for their money. We have 5 series today, don't forget, compared to our day number 1, where we had 4 series. Plenty more awesome games to come along, that's for sure.
Yes, I'm looking forward to watching these guys fight it out. Good quality StarCraft matches. Really interested to see who's going to be able to deliver when everything's on the line between these. So there's so much on the line on a single best of 5 Premier League status, or being kicked out of the World Championship Series, the money, the points, and of course the chance to play on the biggest stage.
All right, let's get into it. Game number 2, as we have Expedition Lost, our map spawning to the bottom left-hand corner. Our previous Premier player looking to climb on back up. It is ShoWTimE here, representing alternate attacks. And to the top right-hand corner, oopsies, there we go. It is our blue Zerg, representing Team Extreme Supremacy. It is Elazar.
Welcome everybody if you're just tuning in. If you are wondering what other games we're going to be looking at today after this one, it will be Mana versus Hero Marine in the rematch of Challenger Season 1. And then after that, Naniwa returns to the World Championship Series. We'll be going up against Kung Fu Panda, the young German Protoss, in a Protoss versus Protoss match. And then finally, to wrap up the night, it will be Firecake, who performed very well in front of the French audience just a month ago in the Season 1 finals, taking on the youngster Zanster from Sweden.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Zanster, we've never really seen a whole lot of him. We actually saw him at Intel Extreme Masters San Jose at the very end of last year, where unfortunately he got eliminated in the open bracket. But aside from that, it's another good opportunity for an upstarter to kind of prove themselves here on the WCS circuit.
We have a drone moving out very early on, and it's headed towards the back rocks.
Uh-oh.
And I think we'd be seeing a hatchery, and I think we'd be seeing a spine crawler, and I think we'd be seeing these back rocks broken down.
And how quickly is ShoWTimE going to identify this? This is very, very cheeky of him. And, well, he's going to need to send a probe over there and try and spot that there is no natural land from there on.
Cheeky, Kalaris.
Cheeky. It's almost as if Rotterdam's in the room. What's going on? Well, for now, let's see how Elazar's going to play this out.
All right, now ShoWTimE has no idea, obviously. He's just kind of twiddling his thumbs or clicking away his mouse and touching that keyboard in his own little German world, where he's got no idea, and he won't know for a while. He's going to send out a probe scout, and that's going to be, by the looks of it, the first time he realizes is when he goes to his opponent's natural and says, wait a minute, you don't have a second base, unless he butts head with these drones. But I think that Elazar's going to be smart enough to send them the other way.
Oh, sneaky.
They are the spine crawler drones. They are the drill surgeons. They sacrifice their lives to turn into giraffes, and then they're going to headbutt the rocks till the end of time.
Sacrifice their lives to turn into giraffes. That's some interesting stuff right there.
Yeah, man, look at this.
Yeah. And if they uproot, they do that little waddle movement.
And now ShoWTimE is like, what are you... What? Wait, what? Is he taking... Did I miss that gold base being taken? Would have been at least I would think. I don't think he's going to... Well, he is. Okay, so 2 things. You check the back, and then the gold base, I'd imagine. But you've seen the back, and he's like, oh, I got a mothership core. Is that good enough?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Doesn't have a spore crawler building here. That being said, the queen will pop out eventually. Is the queen going to be trapped?
I don't know which side it pops out.
I think it pops out here, right?
I don't know.
This is going to be kind of weird. He needs to uproot. Yeah, she's going to be trapped, kind of. But one queen can actually do all right against the mothership core here for a little bit, especially when she gets the very first shots off.
All right, so he can creep spread. You can save energy now. Lings on the front here going to do a bit of damage, and there's a lot of Lings on the way with Zergling speed as well. So it's going to be a Ling flood, whichever entrance is open. This natural area or the back rocks.
Whichever one to go to. There's going to be the attempt to wall off. He cancels the Nexus, so you have to be very careful. 3 gateways have actually started up.
He needs to get that other sentry out. These rocks are almost down, and that is I'm pretty sure that I can't remember actually. I think it's a 2 force field ramp, or is it 1? I'm not sure.
It's a 1
at the back.
Yeah, it's 1.
All right, so either way, he needs more sentries. He's got to hold on forever.
Yeah, for a long, long time. And okay, that didn't go as planned, Sean. That force field.
Photon overcharge.
Oh god. All right, so gonna have to now stop somehow these 2 spine crawlers that have made their way up towards top.
As soon as Photon overcharge is down, Ling flood comes in, and this is hard to stop. He doesn't really have a fantastic wall. The 2 gateways in that wall are going to be broken down very fast with 2 spines there.
Yeah.
And I think that Elazar is the player with the cards up his sleeve.
Looks like it. Looks
Some
like
Polish
it.
tricks here.
I like it, man. I like it. The way he's able to do this, and it was spotted relatively early. Not exactly the earliest it could have been, of course, but this is a lot of damage being done at the moment.
Yeah. This is a lot of Lings. And how well can ShoWTimE hold on?
Well, we're going to have to find out as he's able to create himself a little bit of a wall here, making sure that not a lot of these Zerglings could actually get in. Not even killed off a single probe yet during this game, which is quite surprising, but this creep is slowly encroaching onto Protoss territory.
And there's a lot of Lings.
A lot of Lings. There's actually a pylon over the other side for him to try and go for a counter-attack and maybe do something there, but...
He needs another Photon overcharge, but he's still a good 30-40 seconds away from that.
Yeah, pretty difficult to hold on at the moment. Another opening is going to be made here for the Lings to try and flood on forwards. 4th gateway is going to be turned on. He needs to try and warp in some units to go for a counter-attack or something, but now probes are going to die off to those Lings that have wrapped around from the right-hand side, and he's actually tried to move his entire army to the left to kill off the spine crawlers, but he underpowers 3 gateways! That's a brilliant little pickup there for Elazar.
Yeah, Photon overcharge almost ready, not quite yet. But 4 queens, a lot of Lings, spine crawlers still going at it.
Siege continues.
And 16 Lings on the way. This isn't going to stop. This is a fantastic move here from Elazar, and it's working out wonderfully.
Not much power left over here, as the Lings are going to try and wrap on around once again. 8 workers have actually gone down. He's down to 15. Technically against 15 on the other side, but Elazar has all of the cards in his hand as these queens, get pinned up against this, but does he have enough firepower to bring them down? There goes a transfuse on one of them. The spine crawler's trying to reroute again, and ShoWTimE is desperately trying to hold on with technically similar worker count.
Yeah, but once that Photon overcharge is down, there's nothing left. There's not even the mothership core anymore. There's no units. There's a single zealot, and that is it. Another one gets warped in, but there's still more and more Lings on the way. Spines are going to be very difficult to deal with. A lot of probes were taken down. This is a great build. I'm going to copy it, I'm going to steal it, and I'm going to beat ShoWTimE.
Sounds great. Sounds great, man. Well, technically you are Master's rank, and he's actually only Diamond at the moment. So, but at the same time, there you go. GG. Elazar is able to tie up the series 1-1 after a very feisty opener there in that second game. That was really cool to watch. Yeah,
loving it. Great builds, great strategy, and it worked out wonderfully. I think if this had been a Nexus or a Forge opening, it would have been a bit different, but the way that we saw ShoWTimE open, and he likes his gateway openings. This punished it, this killed it. Yeah. Really nice move.
But now does ShoWTimE get angry, Hulk out, and start to play his own tricks here? I mean, there is the potential that he could, but at the same time, ShoWTimE is one of those guys that likes to go to the mid-game and then start to deviate things up a little bit from there.
Yeah, ShoWTimE is so experienced and so very solid. He's going to look at this and say, that is such a bad map. I hate that map so much. And then he's going to just be like, all right, whatever, let's move on. I cannot play very good against Zerg on this map. Like, it's too hard for Protoss. Let's move on. There's a lot of maps left. I'm going to show my expertise in other areas and other maps, and that's where it's going to shine through for ShoWTimE. But fantastic moves there from Elazar. And maybe if he surprises again, he could go up 2-1, and then anything's possible.
And the next map is Cactus Valley, which is one of the polar opposite maps compared to Expedition Lost in the current map pool, where it's very, very big, not easy to do kind of exploitable builds like that. Yeah. It's going to be probably a pure macro go-to here.
I think this is a hard map for Zerg to be able to know exactly what the Protoss is up to, so I think that's a key strength that ShoWTimE could could latch onto and use to his advantage.
Yeah, potentially. Well, both of the players are in the lobby once again. It is 1-1. So as I said before, our challengers trying to bring it to these previous Premier players from Season 1. Elazar doing in flying colors there in game number 2. Really, I love these little these trickier builds that people are able to bring out. Because if you can catch someone off guard like that, then, you know, you bag yourself a win and go into it 1-1. It's really cool.
You can throw your opponent off, and as weird as it sounds to be like, yeah, throw him off, you actually can get in his head. And then, I mean, I've played games against the same player 3 times in a row on ladder before, and he's beaten me in 2 stupid games, and I just can't play game. No matter how hard I try, it just doesn't work anymore. Your brain stops working, your hands aren't synced up, and you can completely lose it. And we've seen players in the professional scene have that happen too. So this will be interesting to see which way this swings. Is it going to go in favor of the complete newbie? Remember, his very first official game within the World Championship Series. He's played no other Challenger matches before. Obviously, naturally not made it to Premier League. And here he is, 1-1 against a top 4 of Season 1 in the entire of the season.
All right, well, we're loading up now. Cactus Valley will be map number 3 here in this best of 5. As let's find out who is going to be advancing on. Spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, it is our red Protoss. It is ShoWTimE. And up to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Zerg, bringing out some cheeky builds there in game number 2. It is Elazar from Team Extreme Supremacy, and cross positions on this map is something that is, well, they're very far away from each other, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and this just heightens what I said before, is that it's very difficult for Elazar to know what he's playing against. We are going to see either a cannon rush, or we're just going to see this second base taken really fast with coverage from a gateway forge and just take it nice and slowly. Because this is a pretty nice map to take 2 bases on from either side, because it's a lot easier to defend. Nice and narrow choke point that allows access and entrance to the second base.
But at the same time, with this probe moving out this fast and going for the scout here, there is the potential that he does go for that cannon rush. You send down the second probe on a 4-player map like this, throw down that forge, and then go with the opposite direction to where you've previously scouted. And then from there on, it times out pretty nicely if you're able to find them later on. All right. Dun-dun-dun.
It's a good map for 3 hatch.
Oh, we saw the probe.
He did. Is he spawning pool hatching, though? He's hatching. He'd be hatching, and ShoWTimE using the size of the map to his advantage in this regard, because when I load onto this map as a Zerg, you just go ahead and be like, or yeah, I gotta go hatch first. It's huge. It's probably guy's gonna go Nexus first. The probe turns around.
I wondered why he did send that one out, because the probe at the top actually saw this Overlord heading out, so he kind of knew where his opponent was from that. But
maybe he missed it.
Yeah, maybe.
But he decided to pull the second guy back, and his probe's already been tracked.
Are there any really
It's still 3 hatch.
spots?
He's still going 3 hatch.
Oh my god.
ShoWTimE's like, you what, mate?
All right, I'm gonna wall this off. Oh god, this reminds me of Tal'Darim Malta.
I think you got the wall wrong.
It's Tal'Darim Malta all over again. Panic, panic. Oh well, okay. So these drones are trying to come try down and deal with this wall. And you say send another probe over because
he was going to take a Nexus, but then he saw the drone move down to go 3 hatch. He's like, you what?
Yeah.
No way.
There's the first cannon.
Well, that's going to be easy to stop. It's the ones behind the wall, which are the difficult ones.
And you've got to start this one so he doesn't kill this off as quickly. But so he obviously can't.
He needs to make a wall behind that pylon. Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, he's going to get out. And he's going to get out. He's going to get out. This is a fail.
Oh my god.
This is a fail.
Fail. Well, okay.
Unless he goes on the other side.
Oh!
Pull more drones or lings.
Did you see him slip through? That's brilliant. Oh my god.
Yeah, well now you want to pull the drones because you got cannons being built, bro.
Fantastic little move. Here come more drones, but that cannon, I think it's a cannon. Yeah, it is a cannon in the back here. Is almost guaranteed to finish.
There's lings about to pop from the natural. So
yeah. Does he just, I mean, he keeps going with it. Look at this. He needs to get those lings onto the cannons pretty quickly. And we'll be able
drones get out the way, says every Zoo player ever.
Yeah, another cannon is going to finish up. There's no probe, so he can't build anymore here. But
send the drones back to work, bro.
Oh, he's losing so much mining time. Look at this. Oh my god. All right, so he's actually just focusing down drones here. Notice that with the cannons. He doesn't really care about the Zerglings. Try and get as many drone kills as he possibly can. 5 have gone down, 6 in total. And it's 13 against 16, but that was a big investment there for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, Nexus is down.
Oh, jeez. That was wild. I'm loving it.
Yeah, fun day today. Whew. It's hard to... I've never really been cannon rushed or cannon rushed and had it turn out like this when the workers are so close, but I think that's a bit of an advantage for Elazar.
Yeah.
Even the Nexus is down, it's just that...
so far away from being done, right?
It's far from being done. There was a lot of lava still being able to be used, so he's caught up quite fast. I don't think it's a massive lead, but it's a lead.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Big commitment. Look at the resources lost on ShoWTimE's side compared to Elazar. So I think all of that was drones. The majority of that was drones, with a few Zerglings sprinkled in there as well. So, yeah. I think Elazar's going to be doing all right from here on out.
Yeah, he can take a third now and just keep on pumping away. He knows he's not about to be attacked anytime soon, as the gateway's only just finishing up.
Yeah, nothing to be worried about at all. This probe pokes out briefly and it's like, maybe not. There is spiky death waiting outside.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at this again and just watching it kind of scale up, and this is definitely not just a small lead. I think this is a pretty big lead for Elazar.
Yeah.
It's just escalating so fast. With the cyber core only halfway.
Yeah. No pressure you can put on. That's all.
I mean, the queens are only just being built though, so that is something. But third hatchery down, there's nothing he can do. This guy's going to go straight to 70 drones. I'd be very surprised if he tried anything else. Depends on what ShoWTimE does, of course, but
yeah,
he does have a ticket to a high amount of drones.
Please. Did he? No.
No, he did, but
well, yeah,
there's nothing he can do.
I mean, yeah, just not really deal with it, I guess, at the moment, as he's just going to have those queens for defense later on.
Probably should have just tracked it with one, I suppose.
Yeah,
but...
yeah.
All right, so first sentry's on the way. It's just a follow-up, so ShoWTimE does not know what's going on behind this. He sees the third now completed, and he's going to guess and know this is a lot of drones behind this.
Slings after all of that will evacuate out towards the top. They're trying to make sure that I guess the probe isn't heading up to the top left and being a bit annoying itself up there. They're in this little conga line trying to head up there.
Stargates finished up, and we are going to see an Oracle, I suppose. If he gets a lot of drone damage, it's nice. But no, it's Phoenixes. Okay.
Can this even things up? He can get some drones, right? But it's always... he's just going to replenish them with drones off the back of a fantastic economy that he already has, surely.
Yeah. So we'll see what he does with the Phoenixes here. How many goes to? What's his follow-up here? Is it going to be, Phoenix Colossus, more of an older style? He's going to get rid of one overlord. There's another one that's pretty close, just to the right.
Yeah.
But this right now for Elazar is still Drone City. He hasn't done anything apart from drone.
I wonder if he tries to hide a Nexus or something like that, because at this point, I feel that it's going to be really, really difficult for him to keep up with where Elazar's at. Unicap, I mean, it's 56 workers against 46.
That's not too bad.
It's not terrible, no, but, I mean, what pressure can he put on?
None, but he can take a third. I mean, he has that probe out there, so I guess he could try something. I mean, he's putting 5 gateways down, so yeah, he's gonna use his probe and pylon, and he's gonna attack that third base.
Yeah.
Depending on how far the drones actually go here for Elazar, because he's at 65, and that's all he really needs. But the Hydralisk Den's already on its way, and this attack isn't ready yet. It's only just being built, so we're gonna see Hydralisk made at a high number. And he's waiting with his lava and supply to build Hydralisks. And they're going to be built before this attack commences. And I'm not sure he has enough to be able to defeat all the Hydralisks.
Exactly. This is a brilliant opportunity for Elazar to take a clean advantage in this series right now.
Yeah, it's 12 of them. It's a lot of Hydralisks. And then he's going to be able to back them up with Zerglings.
Yeah, very difficult. I mean, unless the Phoenix could catch some staggered coming out and maybe a few kills here and there, but that's not going to be the case. I mean, the Queens are already here to support these Hydralisks as soon as they pop out.
I mean, the Zergling's going to go down there, and he knows he's under attack straight away. Sees all these sentries, sees the units, and now it'll only be unit production. He's a little bit supply capped. He can bring down additional Queens from the main and from the second as well, remember, to assist in this. But Hydralisk is so very, very good against Phoenixes and also gateway units.
Yeah, and there's not really that much to complement these sentries alone. Just a few Stalkers needs another round of Warpins. Laser's going to bring the fight to him. He doesn't even care at this point. Gets a few of those units caught on the other side thanks to the Time Warp as well as the Force Fields. But
8 additional Hydralisks.
So much power, so much power.
He lost 2, so it's 10, and now an extra 8, so it's about 18.
And he's going to have +1 weapons as well as the Grooved Spines here for the Hydras very, very soon. 12 extra in production now. 24 Hydralisks-ish going up against this army. You've got to back off as Protoss.
Mothership Core is gone, as with Zerglings on the way out as well. This means no retreat for the sentries, and a laser of all things.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. He's going to try and lift up a few of these Hydralisks, and actually that's not too bad a move to actually thin out those numbers, but he has very few gateway units left on the ground. Here come more Hydralisks. If they can pick off some of these Phoenix, keep those numbers down, then his defense should hold on strong.
Oh, he's looking great, man. This is over. This is over for ShoWTimE. I can't believe it. Our new player in the World Championship Series makes his debut in Challenger, and he looks like he's about to go 2-1 up against our top 4 finisher from Season 1. ShoWTimE is warping in everything he can to try to make this work.
Yeah, and for now the retreat back off here for Elazar. Needs to regroup and get all his forces together once again. But he's going to have 13 Hydralisks already out, 7 more on the way. If he ends up taking a fight with 20 Hydras with Zerglings for support, look at these reinforcements. Very, very difficult for ShoWTimE to do anything
There is no way for ShoWTimE to leave. There's no way for him to transition. There's no way for him to back up. There's nothing. It is fight here, win or lose.
Yeah, he's trying to transition behind this as well, but even if he does that, these Hydras can march across the map, slowly, admittedly, as he does have the muscular augments on the way now, and then just try and pile on pressure at the front.
Okay, you can do so many things here. You are trapping the Protoss in 2 bases. He cannot move out to take a third any point in this game, and this is just highway to 2-1 victory.
Yeah.
You can destroy the Forge, the Gateway, the rest of these units. Wonderful, wonderful moves, and I can't believe that Elazar has ShoWTimE on the ropes here in map number 3.
And now, of course, ShoWTimE has a pretty good position here with force fields that he can actually keep this army back for a little bit, but he has to buy so much time here against Elazar, whose army supply 63 against 42. He's trying to open up extra paths so he can find another route forwards.
We have the Hive, the Roach Warren, +2 attack. He can go up towards anything at this point. There is still a probe piling out on the map which can do counterattack, which is the way that ShoWTimE's going to try and crawl back into this. He's going to try and drag his opponent back to give himself breathing room to get into this game. Warp Prism as well can offer that.
He had to concede that position, though, in front of his base, and that does cause some issues, as he will lose the Forge very, very quickly. That means no armor upgrade at all. Gateway goes down. Cybernetics core is going to fall. No more sentries or no more stalkers. Once that ends up falling... and actually doing an alright job of pushing this back a little bit.
Yeah, the Zealots kind of distracting Elazar a little bit.
He saw the Warp Prism. He knows that there's going to be counterattacks extra coming along after these Zealots have been cleaned up.
5 workers killed, but Cybernetics called down 160 supply here for Elazar, and ShoWTimE has his work cut out from him. Really needs to show everybody watching right now why he was top 4 in Season 1 and what he can bring to Season 2, because this is going to be a very, very difficult hold. A lot of Roach, a lot of Hydra. We are going to have Vipers to combat the Colossus, and they're going to pull them out, and they are the damage dealers. I think we missed up on that +1 armor upgrade being completed for ShoWTimE. He's stuck on +1 attack. And there's only a couple of Colossus down, and now we're just waiting for Elazar to land the killing strike.
And the thing is that, yeah, of course, he has to take this 3rd base, but now this is all the more difficult to actually defend. Natural, yeah, pretty easy to defend in comparison. Unfortunately, really has to catch up in economy. But here comes the Warp Prism. He's going to try and dart in towards the ramp, actually. There isn't a sentry in here with some Zealots, so maybe he can do something. But the grab from that can actually deny Warpins if he actually uses it on the Warp Prism.
Yeah, this is... still ShoWTimE trying to buy time to build up a big enough army to be able to defend this location. He knows his 3rd eventually is going to be under threat, and that didn't last very long. He gets a good 9 workers, though. 10 workers. The slow comeback is on here for ShoWTimE, but now with this being dealt up, this small little army must defend that 3rd Nexus, as Elazar is going to gun for it. He has the Vipers to pull the Colossus out, and then is just a bunch of sentries with a few Stalkers.
It's an unbelievable amount of army that we're having out for Elazar at the moment. Look at this entirely huge
Another
force.
counterattack from ShoWTimE to try and buy more time in. Just 3 Zealots, 4 Zealots. But this time Elazar's not coming back. He's had enough. He knows he's at an advantageous position. He knows he's about to go 2-1. Great starting force fields though, as ShoWTimE tries to hold on.
Really need some high Templars here for
They're
feedbacks.
about to warp in though. If he gets rid of the Vipers, he can keep his Colossus alive in the game.
Yeah, he's going to keep those back for a little bit. And this choke can buy time here with the force fields that he has. He has to hit at the third, I feel.
Well, if he pokes forward, feedbacks, bang.
Oh, catches quite a few already. There's only one left here of the Vipers, and he will be able to grab it, but at the same time, a few core pulls do go down. Perfect there by Elazar to get those 2 Colossi, and now he can just push on. No AoE damage at all for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, the Vipers got what they wanted, and now Elazar is going for that Nexus. No units are there. They're trapped inside the natural. Another Colossus comes out, but down falls the Nexus, and this is going to be game after losing that Nexus. He's lost a third of his income. And this is so very, very big for Elazar, and ShoWTimE knows the end is near.
Yeah, very, very near. This now has to hold off against this. Doesn't have any sentries at all to try and hold off against this. Roaches and Hydras just going to try and get up on top of that Colossus as quickly as possible, but they don't even care. Go for the Stalkers. Probes come off the line here as Elazar will take the advantage here in this series. 2-1 so far.
And he hammered that win home. He knew he was at an advantage straight away as soon as he held that, and he just kept on hitting and hitting and hitting until he was able to get the victory near the end there. So that's a big, big win for Elazar, and he goes up 2-1 now against ShoWTimE in what we could say is the biggest upset we've seen so far in all of Challenger matches, as knocking out ShoWTimE after his top 4 finish in Season 1 in Challenger is so very big from a player who's never played in the World Championship Series before.
Yeah, and ShoWTimE now really needs to step it up. He doesn't want Season 1 to just be a blip of success in his career. He wants to continue that on, be strong, be consistent.
Yeah.
And at the moment, Elazar is really bringing the fight to him. Admittedly, it came off the back of ShoWTimE trying something very aggressive, and it didn't work out. There was a lot committed to that. Now ShoWTimE's probably going to go back to safer builds, safer play, but does Elazar with a cushion go aggressive himself here?
I mean, I would say the opposite. I think he goes 3 hatch on this map because he knows that ShoWTimE cannot offer any more aggressive plays.
True.
One try of an aggressive attempt and you mess up and the game's over. You know, you defend it, game's over. So this is a perfect opportunity for Elazar to use the momentum he has to exploit and gain an advantage early. So 3 hatch openers, play greedy, take full advantage of your opponent who is absolutely trying to protect his Season 2 in Premier League, because that's what it is. ShoWTimE is meant to be playing in Season 2 in Premier League, but right now he's about to lose unless he changes this up.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty difficult. I mean, Elazar has shown some really good games so far. So now it looks good to go into Iron Fortress, a map that can be quite difficult here for them, and obviously very, very open, and obviously that third base can be a bit of a nuisance.
So Iron Fortress is like the biggest map, I suppose, in the map pool. It's 4-player, it's difficult for Protoss to move out to take a third, so there's multiple different ways that ShoWTimE can play this, but it comes down to what will he do when everything's on the line.
Yeah. Well, we'll be answering that question in just a second as the map is loaded up and getting good to go here. So Iron Fortress, at the moment, Elazar from Team Extreme Supremacy leads 2-1 against our 3rd and 4th finisher from Season 1 of WCS, who performed oh so well, especially against the Zergs, and picked Elazar in this match. So let's get into it as we have, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, it is our red Protoss. It is ShoWTimE. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have Elazar from Team Extreme Supremacy looking to cause an absolutely brilliant upset here.
Yeah, and he knows he's in a position where he could pull that upset off. So as much as ShoWTimE has to play steady, not make mistakes, he also runs the risk now, or Elazar that is, of making mistakes now he's in the lead.
I wasn't expecting this probe to move out. Not at all. Because at the moment, it could be gearing up for another cannon rush. Kind of calling the bluff of, I'm going to go 3 hatch. Something like that. I mean, he saw his plans to go 3 hatch in the previous game, and this is being Iron Fortress. Maybe he tries to do it again.
If he does, he runs a massive risk. of course, his entire season is on the line on a cannon rush.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
luckily for him, the first overlord has gone the other way.
Oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do it again, Sean.
Whew.
I can't believe it. Well, all right. This is where it gets very tense because ShoWTimE now is sending out the second probe and looking to find Elazar. He will find him with the second probe, and this overlord will not bump into that other probe.
No overlords are going to see any probes anytime today.
So this could tie it up for him if he's able to execute this properly.
Balls of steel.
Unbelievable.
And it's looking at a 3 hatch here, by the way. The other drone's way pointed out. As mentioned, Elazar's doing what he should be doing in this position, is taking full advantage of ShoWTimE being scared. But this is a cannon rush. The pro drone moves. This is a cannon rush. Elazar cannot believe that ShoWTimE is doing a cannon rush on his tournament life.
No, it looks like that. And he's going to wall this in by the looks of things. Get the cannon in there. An annoying little spot. Sent the second probe home, actually. So this is a very
There's no spawning pool.
location.
It's 3 hatch down. There's no spawning pool.
Yeah.
I'm sure Elazar can't believe it. Just like I didn't expect this to happen either, and ShoWTimE went against what normally happens in this position.
But you went through the thought process so well in terms of Elazar obviously didn't expect this to come out in the tournament life on the line. So going through triple hatch, he's like, haha, I'm super safe for it. But that is not the case.
It's so risky to do this as ShoWTimE, but it's going to work. And he's got a cannon rush successfully planted on the second base location. There is another hatch going up, so he'll continue to cannon rush for days, man.
Yeah,
he'll cannon rush this base, he'll cannon rush another one if he has to.
Nexus is on the way behind it, so nowhere near the same investment that we had prior, but it's done so much more already. Going to go up to this position, and we'll try and cannon rush this potentially if he wants to, but it's just going to back off.
He has decided to throw down the Nexus and cannon, so right now he's not over-investing in this, because he absolutely can still cannon rush one of these other bases and probably make it work. But right now, he is just like, okay, I've gained a lead. I'm happy with the small lead that I've gained. I don't need to run the risk and gamble more to get a bigger lead and run the risk that it not working and put my tournament life again on the line. I've got what I wanted.
And now, as a Protoss against a Zerg on this map, when you force the denial of the natural location, the pseudo-natural and third base are so far away from everything. Both of them. This is quite ridiculous, actually, how this works out. So surely Protoss has a really fun time here being able to exert some pressure on some of these bases.
Yeah, no creep spread connecting any of these bases as of yet. And yeah, that's right. It's going to be hard for slow roaches, queens to be able to defend in multiple locations if ShoWTimE goes aggressive from this, which you would think he would, but we'll see where he takes this.
Yeah, he still has options. All right, so these Zerglings just poking around at the front, seeing that this wall of pylons is still fully up. One of the cannons was actually working at a pylon. Then he stopped once the Zergling spotted it. Probably wanted to get the probe out to have a little bit of a scout around as well. And he's going to do that again. So clever moves here by ShoWTimE. He knows that this will always eventually die off.
Yeah, a lot of drones on the way. Just pumping out those drones, but we're waiting for a key move from ShoWTimE. On what tech choice it is. It's going to be the Stargate.
Okay.
And it's not going to be spotted anytime soon.
Right at the front, almost in plain sight here of the Zerg, but as you say, difficult to end up spotting it when it is that close.
So far, if you take out all the circumstances, ShoWTimE's build is just really standard. He'll get +1 attack soon, if not another sentry. And it is very, very normal. Like, this could be a third base for all we know. Until he branches down an aggressive play, I don't know where he's going at the moment. 3 gateways normal at this point as well.
Yep.
+1 attack starting. Mothership Coral second sentry can come out in a second.
Basically rocking it. Basically just doing what you need to do after really forcing the Zerg into an uncomfortable position with his bases being everywhere. But Leia, Roach Warrior, and Evolution Chamber on the way here for Elazar. So he'll get that +1 going, Clear Reconstitution, and then see what he can do from there. I think he really needs Clear Reconstitution to actually defend these bases if any pressure comes along.
This Stargate was never scouted, so there are no Spore Crawlers. So this Oracle coming out can deal quite a bit of damage. Behind this, ShoWTimE is looking to take a third off the back of these 3 gateways. As mentioned, it just looks like his build is a normal build. There's nothing special about it, looking to capitalize on the fact that his opponent has these 3 bases spread out. but the Oracle has gone undetected. It's going to be in the middle line before it's even spotted, and it will get drone kills.
And because his base is so close, he was over there in a second, very, very quickly. So going to a few drones already. There is a second queen out here, thankfully, for Elazar, as he was spreading creep over here, so doesn't get too many kills just yet.
But there are 11 roaches, and what I would imagine to be following this up with just a lot of Zerglings. And right now, there is not a lot to protect that very fast third Nexus. It's pretty fast. It's off 3 gateways. Yeah. He doesn't really have any sentries out there, Sentry Zealot Force to be able to defend it. So let's just say that as normal as ShoWTimE's build is, if he loses that Nexus and gets reset back onto 2...
that's what the Void Ray is for. It's going to try and deal with this, but I think that it brings it down before the Void Ray can even do all the work it needs. It's a lot of firepower he's going to have. 15 roaches with the extra Zerglings following up. The cannon is on the way. If you can get that walled in and good to go, that will help a little bit, but he's already going to start working on the few units that are here.
Well, the Oracle's having to use its ability on these roaches too, and there's a lot of units on the way.
That Void Ray is mincing up these roaches, though. Even the Queens came for the fight. Actually, that's a really good move here by Elazar. Because his bases are so close, why on earth not bring them here and try and counteract the Void Ray that is here to try and deal with this force? And he's going to try and go for the wraparound.
Photon overcharge in a couple of seconds. But is it going to be enough to hold on? There is a second Void Ray.
He's going for it. He's going to right-click on this Nexus. If he can kill it off, that would be cool, but he's not going to have enough. Backing off now, trying to fight this small army on the left-hand side with the sentries alone. I think he might be able to get this. He's kept so many units alive.
Yeah, he should be able to get this Nexus quite easily.
Wow. Wow, what a pickup. What a pickup. Second Void Ray comes out, but the Nexus does fall. And this army is still threatening the front, so
ShoWTimE in trouble. ShoWTimE's been forced back to 2 bases. He can sit pretty on 2 bases with force fields, but he knows he's stuck there right now. So 4 additional gateways have been added on. Behind this, Elazar's going to drone up. He has the Hydralisk Den, the Infestation Pit, a second Evolution Chamber coming in.
This is brilliant. This is unbelievable.
And after cannon rushing this base and not really doing anything after it, no follow-up, no plan, no strategy to kind of work with the kind of Zerg being spread across these 3 locations.
And now it's funny because when he takes his 4th base here for Elazar, it's actually really well defended because the perimeter that he was forced to kind of implement with all the other bases on the outlying positions.
So it's going to be right now, Hydra maybe gets down the Hive in a minute and goes towards the
oh god, he's going to get the,
again.
He's going to get the cancel again, Sean. With all of these Zerglings flooding up, how is he supposed to defend that?
He won't. He cancels again. He
Oh
gets
my
reset
god.
again. And Elazar is right now in the driving seat towards Premier League.
Yeah. This is brilliant for him. What an opportunity. He basically starts his WCS story here, and if he is able to take out ShoWTimE as his first victim on this WCS road, an unbelievable start. He even burrows these Zerglings. He doesn't have any detection.
Yeah, I remember,
oh my,
just getting into Premier League gives you $4,500, which is a lot of money as well. For a young player here, as mentioned, just turned 17 in December.
Oh, and the Zergling burrowed at this location.
Nothing is going in ShoWTimE's favor right now. He's on the ropes. He is top 4 from Season 1. Everyone's expecting ShoWTimE to have a great year, to really challenge even Snoot and Bunny, but right now he is facing elimination in Challenger. The challenge was set by ShoWTimE. Remember, ShoWTimE picked out Elazar from the crowd. ShoWTimE had second pick in Challenger selection. After Bunny chose Beastie QT, ShoWTimE could have chosen anybody, and he picked out the newbie that never played in Challenger before. And he's about to lose unless something drastically changes.
Yeah, Elazar is showing brilliance here, and I said it was a heartbreaker for Beastie Cutie before, but imagine ShoWTimE here if he's not able to hold on, because this army is very strong, catches a few other Hydralisks at the front. Elazar getting a bit keen to try and kill off this location.
Yeah, he's delayed it enough, but he's just building up a Roach and Hydra army. He's only on layer. It's pure Roach Hydra.
He's going to force the cancel again. There's no way you're going to be able to keep that at this point with the Hydras in this position.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
ShoWTimE gets it cancelled again, but he's going to be able to pick up a couple of units for free here. Loses not even a Stalker there, gets 3 or 4 Hydras, but there's a lot of other Roaches around here.
They attempt at the wraparound here for Elazar. But his army doesn't quite conjoin together to actually put on huge pressure against this.
There's hardly any force fields left.
Yeah, they were good force fields to hold this off for all this amount of time. And Elazar's actually going to lose quite a few of these units at the front. He's being slowly segmented off and actually killed, but the trades are pretty good for him. With a 3 base behind this and the creep slowly pushing on forwards towards Protoss.
Yeah, pushes him back in there. Just get back inside that 2 base, ShoWTimE, and Elazar shuts him off again.
He can't do anything. He can't do anything. This is so difficult for him. He's going to lose a Void Ray. If he loses the second Void Ray as well, he almost has no firepower. 17 Roaches in production to fight against just Stalkers?
Well, in a minute, we're going to see ShoWTimE try and take the third again. He has to take the third. He can't sit back on 2 bases. He's running out of money, and he needs better tech that he cannot afford right now. And right now, Elazar says, you've got to move out, and I am waiting for that chance. Waiting to take and rip Premier League away from you and have it for himself.
The wall has been broken down. It's only Stalkers with Blink left alone here to try and combat against this. And at the moment, yes, they do have +2 weapons, but Roach and Hydra, once they amass again with the amount of Roaches he pumped out, it's going to be difficult. I mean, Blink Stalkers actually, in critical mass, have been able to work miracles in the past, but I don't know whether or not they can in this time.
Well, attempt number 17 of taking the third Nexus from ShoWTimE. He's got to get this up and running. And here we are, going to try again. This time we're going to wait, or Elazar's going to wait, heal up a little bit with Queen Energy going on to some damaged Hydras, and he's going to strike again very shortly.
He still has no detection. An Observer has only just been produced, and he walks onto Creep. He cannot stick around on here.
No, the Roaches with speed, Hydra's about to have speed. We're going to see another attack again, and this time you do not have a sentry bank. You cannot cut this up.
Yeah.
Roach and Hydra can get really close and personal, and they will in a second. ShoWTimE knows the creep is a problem because of how fast these units can attack, and here we go.
He's going to be pretty trapped here. He needs to blink away from this. There's no way that he can stick in that position, but he loses a lot of units whilst trying to blink away. That's a bit of a disaster move there for ShoWTimE, who needed to clean up some of that creep regardless, but Roach and Hydra barreling towards this natural. All he has is blink left available. He has to blink his heart out to try and keep himself alive here in Challenger, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Elazar just powers on forwards with Roach and Hydra. It's a valiant effort here from ShoWTimE to try and keep himself alive. He had to cancel the third base while this was going on, and he might be able to hold on barely, but even if he does, he has nothing left, Sean.
There's no tech, the Stalkers are wearing thin, and there is a lot more from where this came from. More Roach, more Hydralis on the way, and ShoWTimE holds on again, but he's got to go to attempt number 24 and take that third Nexus again very shortly. But we're going to see the same type of attack coming out from Elazar, who is continuing to just power through.
Yeah, Hive is on the way as well, so his transitions are fine. There you go, GG! Congratulations to Elazar, who is able to move on to Premier League, and the unbelievable upset there in ShoWTimE being eliminated here in Challenger.
Yeah, it's the upset so far we've seen in Challenger, and if not the biggest upset we'll see for the rest of the couple of days remaining, as Elazar has taken out ShoWTimE in Challenger. And I can't stress how important this is for Elazar, because this is the first time he's ever done this, first time in Challenger, and he was picked out as the guy that's easy to beat because he's not that good, and I've beaten him before, and he's first time in WCS, and I got to pick out of anybody out of second, and you know, he picked Elazar, and it turned around to bite him in the bum. ShoWTimE is eliminated in Challenger.
Brilliant performance there by Elazar. Congratulations to him moving through. That's the make of his career so far. This is the biggest win of his career so far. So congratulations to him for moving on.
Yeah, it's a big moment here. He goes through to Premier League and will play with the big boys when we enter the round of 32 in just a couple of weeks' time now.
All right, so that does it for our second series of the day here in WCS Challenger Day 2. Join us after the break when we are going to have the rematch from Season 1. It's going to be Mana going up against Marine.